On the morning of November 24, 2025, Jakarta buzzed with anticipation. The city's energy was palpable, as if every street and building sensed that something significant was about to unfold. The sun rose over the capital, casting a golden hue on the bustling streets, while the nation's attention turned to a singular event that would soon make headlines across the globe. Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka, a figure who had quickly risen to prominence, was preparing for a pivotal journey that would not only test his diplomatic skills, but also showcase Indonesia's evolving role on the world stage. The air was thick with expectation as he readied himself, surrounded by a small but dedicated team of advisors and aides. At Halim Perdanakusuma Air Force Base, Gibran, acting on the direct orders of President Prabowo Subianto, was set to embark on a mission of great importance, representing Indonesia at the G20 Summit in Johannesburg. The base was abuzz with activity, as convoys arrived and officials exchanged final words before departure. This mission was more than a matter of protocol. It was a powerful statement of Indonesia's commitment to global leadership, economic cooperation, and its willingness to engage with the world's most influential nations. The G20 Summit would be a platform for Indonesia to voice its perspectives and advocate for the interests of developing nations. With a streamlined entourage, the focus was clearly on substance over ceremony. Every member of the delegation understood the gravity of their mission, carrying with them not just official documents, but the aspirations of millions of Indonesians who hoped for progress and recognition on the international stage. As the presidential aircraft soared into the sky, it carried the hopes and dreams of 280 million Indonesians. The takeoff was more than a physical departure. It was a symbolic leap, signaling Indonesia's readiness to engage, contribute, and lead in shaping the future of global affairs. President Prabowo's mandate to Gibran was clear and ambitious. Articulate Indonesia's stance on pressing global issues, strengthen strategic partnerships, and champion the principles of multilateralism. The world would be watching as Indonesia's new leadership stepped onto the global stage with renewed confidence. For the new administration, this was a defining moment, a chance to project Indonesia's diplomatic vigor and vision for a more inclusive and cooperative international order. Cameras flashed and reporters took note as the Indonesian delegation arrived, signaling a new era in the nation's foreign policy. The journey to Johannesburg marked not just a diplomatic mission, but Indonesia's intent to lead, collaborate, and advocate for a more equitable world. As Gibran stepped onto the global stage, he carried with him the hopes of a nation eager to make its mark in the community of nations. The flight to Johannesburg was not just a physical journey, but a passage into a new chapter of international engagement for Indonesia. As the aircraft soared above continents and oceans, every mile brought with it a sense of anticipation and responsibility. This was more than travel. It was a mission, a commitment to represent a nation on the world stage. The journey itself became a bridge, connecting the duties of national service with the broader responsibilities of global citizenship. Each moment in transit was a reminder of the stakes involved and the opportunities ahead. Vice President Gibran and his dedicated team transformed the 10-hour flight into a mobile command center. They pored over briefing papers, refined strategies, and rehearsed key messages, ensuring every detail was in place for the summit. The cabin buzzed with focused energy, as every member understood the importance of their mission. As the aircraft descended over the vibrant city of Johannesburg, the weight of Indonesia's role at Africa's first G20 summit became unmistakably clear. The city's skyline, dotted with landmarks, signaled the beginning of a historic moment. The formal reception at the airport, complete with flags and a red carpet, underscored the significance of Indonesia's presence. It was a powerful reminder that this was not just another diplomatic visit, but a pivotal event in international relations. The city buzzed with anticipation as delegations from around the world arrived. Security was tight, the press was eager, and the atmosphere was charged with the promise of high-stakes diplomacy and meaningful dialogue. For Vice President Gibran, stepping onto South African soil was more than a ceremonial gesture. It symbolized a deep sense of solidarity and partnership between Indonesia and Africa, rooted in shared values and mutual respect. Both regions have endured long histories of struggle, overcoming colonialism and fighting for independence. Today, they share aspirations for greater influence, prosperity, and a more just world order. Indonesia's participation at the summit was a testament to its evolving global outlook and unwavering commitment to building bridges across continents, fostering cooperation, and shaping a brighter future for all. The G20 brings together the world's most influential economies, forming a powerful coalition that shapes the direction of global affairs. This group is not just a gathering of leaders, it's a forum where the future of the world is debated and decided. Collectively, G20 members account for an astonishing 85% of global GDP and represent two-thirds of the world's population. Their decisions ripple across continents, affecting billions of lives, from the largest financial centers to the smallest rural communities. This year's summit in Johannesburg marks a historic milestone, the first time the G20 convenes on African soil. It's a moment that shines a spotlight on the global south, bringing new perspectives and priorities to the forefront of international dialogue. The summit's central themes, solidarity, equality, and sustainability, are more than just words. They are a call to action, urging world leaders to address deep-rooted systemic inequalities and to work together for a more just and balanced global society. For Indonesia, a nation that has long championed the interests of developing countries, this summit is a unique opportunity. Here, Indonesia can advocate for a fairer world order, ensuring that the voices of emerging economies are not only heard, but respected. Indonesia's participation is crucial, not only for influencing global economic policies, but also for advancing its own ambitious development agenda. By engaging with the world's leading economies, Indonesia can help shape policies that foster inclusive growth and sustainable progress. The G20's scope extends far beyond economics. It serves as a vital platform for addressing urgent challenges like climate change, digital transformation, and global crises that demand collective action and innovative solutions. Indonesia's active engagement ensures that the concerns and aspirations of developing nations are brought to the table, helping to shape a more inclusive and representative global agenda. The summit is a rare opportunity to build consensus on the world's most pressing issues, from economic recovery to social justice, and to forge partnerships that can drive real change. Indonesia's presence at the G20 reaffirms its unwavering belief in multilateralism, cooperation, and dialogue as the best path forward for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Vice President Gibran's agenda is packed, with a keynote address as its centerpiece. He will present Indonesia's vision for solidarity, equality, and sustainability, sharing policy stances and proposing collective action. The speech will highlight Indonesia's leadership on digital transformation, fair finance, and climate commitments that support emerging economies. Beyond the plenary, Gibran's bilateral meetings with world leaders are crucial for advancing Indonesia's interests. These one-on-one talks allow for deeper negotiation and relationship building. The goal: shape the summit's outcomes and ensure Indonesia's priorities are reflected. Gibran is the voice of President Prabowo and the Indonesian people on the global stage. The real work of diplomacy often happens in private meetings, not public sessions. Gibran's bilateral talks with leaders like India's Modi and Australia's Albanese are key to deepening ties and advancing Indonesia's agenda. These meetings allow for candid discussions and concrete agreements on trade, security, and investment. By building coalitions, Indonesia amplifies its influence within the G20. Aligning with like-minded nations helps push for equitable development and fair trade. Each meeting aims to deliver real benefits for Indonesians, from investment to education. Indonesia's "Thousand Friends, Zero Enemies" approach is on full display. Indonesia's participation in the G20 is a testament to its commitment to multilateralism and active diplomacy. President Prabowo's administration prioritizes international cooperation as a strategic necessity. In a world of interconnected crises, Indonesia advocates for collective solutions and reforms to make global institutions more inclusive. As a bridge builder among nations, Indonesia fosters dialogue and understanding. Gibran's role is to present Indonesia's views and seek common ground, reinforcing the nation's reputation as a trusted partner. By engaging constructively, Indonesia signals hope and stability amid global fragmentation. Its presence at the G20 is a call for collaboration to overcome shared challenges. The Johannesburg G20 Summit is shaped by notable absences and diplomatic tensions. U.S. President Trump's boycott and disputes with South Africa cast a shadow, complicating consensus building. The absence of leaders like China's Xi and Russia's Putin shifts the summit's dynamics. These gaps create challenges but also opportunities for nations like Indonesia to step up. Gibran's mission is even more critical, helping bridge divides and keep the summit productive. Middle powers and emerging economies can demonstrate leadership and commitment to multilateralism. Indonesia must navigate carefully, focusing on substance over political drama. By doing so, it helps steer the G20 toward meaningful outcomes despite global fractures. Central to Gibran's mission is championing President Prabowo's vision for a swift, inclusive global economic recovery. The world faces lingering pandemic effects, supply chain issues, and inflation. Indonesia urges the G20 to drive synchronized action for a resilient, sustainable future. Recovery must be shared. Protectionism is counterproductive. Indonesia advocates for open trade, investment in infrastructure, and support for developing nations. Human-centered development is key. Invest in health, education, and small businesses. Gibran will showcase Indonesia's strategies as models for others. The goal? Move from talk to action, ensuring no one is left behind. Indonesia's presence at the 2025 G20 Summit is a powerful statement of its global role. Amid uncertainty and shifting alliances, Indonesia's active engagement is a beacon of stability. By sending Gibran, the nation reaffirms its commitment to multilateralism and problem-solving. Indonesia's constructive participation counters division and strengthens the G20. As a bridge builder, Indonesia champions the global South and equitable world order. Gibran's leadership signals Indonesia's readiness to shape global policy. In an interconnected world, Indonesia's prosperity is tied to global peace and progress.